Hey everyone, Southie here. It's been a while since I've done a bit of a video or an update on what's going on, so I've got a few things to do on the car today. Thought I'd do a bit of an update. So I guess for those that follow the build on the HAMB, you know that I've been mucking around with the 1 3/4 SUs that will eventually make their way onto the car, but with everything going on in the world at the moment, sort of parts availability, pricing, freight and all the rest of it's proved troublesome. We got the nostalgias coming up in sort of a month and a bit, so for now I've sort of gone back to the Strombergs, and I'll run with them for now and continue to persevere with them, and eventually once I get the nostalgias and stuff out of the way, we'll look at what we can do with the SUs. Big shout out to Harv on the FB EK forum. If anyone is mucking around with grey motors and Stromberg carbies for them, highly suggest getting hold of Harv's guide. I've read the thing about 10 times over and it's been a massive help, so get onto Harv's guide. Harv, you're a legend. Alright, let's see where we're at. Like I said, I've put the Strombergs back on for now, and with the help of Harv's guide and a few other different people that I've been talking to, I think we're getting closer on the setup for these things. So anyone that's sort of been following has noticed that this car has always suffered from a real big flat spot off the line. The cam in this thing is massive. It's like 252, 254 out of an old salt car. So with a 2 mile run up on the salt, the cam would have been bang on, but trying to get the thing off the line and up to speed sort of in a 1/4 mile, the thing sort of really struggled on the first 60, getting it off the line, but come on real strong sort of once it got over the 3.5, 4 grand on the back end of the track. So trying to get the thing off the line and to get rid of the flat spot down low. And sort of what we found is leaning out the power valves and chucking some Venturis has helped a lot. We're yet to have it at the track to sort of run a time and see what the slip tells us, but from the off-street sort of testing we've been doing at mates' houses and that, it seems to be making a bit of a difference. So we're running 71 power valves in all 3 carbs, and we're running 48 mains in the front and rear and 50 in the middle. Sort of what from speaking with a few people, they sort of say you're best sticking off with the same mains in all of them, but in the triple setup they do have a tendency to sort of rob the middle cylinders and run a bit lean in the middle. So I'm running a 50 main in the middle, but I'm also running a wideband in the exhaust on this. So while it's not an exact science, it does give me a bit of an idea on how things are running, and I don't want to lean things out and start melting things. The old greys are getting a bit expensive. So been through, reset all the linkages. Pretty happy with how that's all turned out. Like I said, 71 power valves. I'm running Venturi restrictors in it, 48 main front and rear and 50 in the middle. All I've really got left to do now is to synchronize the carbs or balance them up, and then we can get it to the track and see how we go. So I'll run through how to sync these carbs. Alright, so as I said, I'm pretty happy with all my baseline settings in this. The other thing I probably forgot to mention, with this setup, I've got the idle mixture screws, 2 screws out, so wind them all the way in, and I've got them 2 turns out, sorry, for a bit of a baseline, and then I can adjust it to get the fuel mixture that I want once everything else is sorted. But for a baseline, idle mixture screws, 2 screws out. So what I'm going to do now, start the thing up, get it warm, get it to operating temp, and then what I'll do is I'll knock the front and the rear linkage off. So the middle carb will be the master carb, and the other 2 I'll balance off the middle carb. Once I got the balance right, I'll hook the linkages back on, check everything to make sure that the linkages haven't upset anything, and then the carbs will be balanced. So that's basically the process. Using the Edelbrock Unisyn. So with that, you basically sit it on, Sit it on the carbie like so, and then it's got like an airflow valve in the middle of it, so you adjust the airflow so that the little bubble reaches the middle line on the reading, and then once that's set, you don't touch the tool, and then you move it to each of the carbs and adjust the idle speed on each of the carbs to get it all the same. So that's pretty much how you're going to balance it. So yeah, let's do it. Alright, so it was really hard to try and obviously get footage balancing up the Stromies. You sort of need both hands, so you don't really have an extra hand to hold the camera, but anyway, hopefully we've got a bit of footage that sort of gives you the general idea of what's going on. As you notice with this thing, it's a real pig. It doesn't really like idling anything under sort of 1600 RPM. With the overlap on the cam, it's just pumping raw fuel out the exhaust pretty much when it's sitting at idle, so yeah. It's hard to tune off the AFR, and it is a bit of a pig. Where you get the real idea on how the thing's going is on the track, under load, wide open throttle, looking at the AFR gauge. So that'll be the next move, get the thing on track and see how it goes. But hopefully it gave you a bit of an idea on how to balance the carbies. And yeah, see you next time. Time to get the wagon out for a cruise while she's good weather. Yo!